Now, on the topic, it's not the popular view in California, but the Costa Mesa mayor is going on record. He doesn't want illegal immigrants in his city, period. Right now, Mayor Al Mansour is asking the city council to adopt a resolution making Costa Mesa a rule of law city. The resolution would make it clear Costa Mesa does not welcome illegal immigration. They will not be a sanctuary city. And Mansour wants city businesses to verify the citizenship of their workers. If L.A. City Council can vote to boycott Arizona, then is there anything wrong with what they're doing in Costa Mesa, David?
Well, there's not necessarily anything wrong with it, but let's see this for what it really is. The mayor of Costa Mesa is running for larger public office. He's running for an assembly seat. He is just, like we were just talking about, he's piling on a really popular topic of conversation right now. And he's had a little bugaboo about this for quite some time. So this is nothing new to him, but his campaign manager very shrewdly saw a chance to really grandstand on this issue to try to score some political points because he wants to be more than the mayor of Costa Mesa. So this is another example of he needs to sit down and shut up.
Well, but it's obvious, too. I mean, if you look at the big picture, the people in Costa Mesa obviously feel the way the mayor does.
Well, clearly they elected him.
Right, okay. So that would be a situation where people would feel differently than many that are speaking out against Arizona's new immigration law. Do you think...
Fred, I still don't understand what's wrong with being asked to prove that you're eligible to be. I've had to fill out an I-9 form for every job I've had since I was 15 years old. I'm proving eligibility. I'm proving citizenship. That's not a problem. What's happening in Costa Mesa?
Ruth. The difference is you're filling out a form when you apply for a job. You're not filling out a form when you're walking down the street.
Well, and it's easy for all of us to talk about this. We're all white. We're all lily white, okay? Well, get a Hispanic person in here, they might talk a little differently about it, which I agree with what Ruth's saying, is that what's the issue? But the problem is this is going to lead to racial profiling. And that's, again, this whole thing is all cloaked in these terms about, proving your eligibility and, we're all opposed to racial profiling. That's what this is really all about, is whether or not we as Americans are okay with asking somebody based on how they look, whether or not they're here legally. That's what this all boils down to. Let's just call it what it is.
But what this boils down to is getting your opinions about the law from your feelings and not from facts. That's a problem.
All right. Let's go to our last topic here. Come on, let's go. California's in dire financial straits. Cities through our state are looking for ways to cut back, ways to save money. The city I'm in right now thinks they might have an answer. Burbank, Glendale, and Pasadena are considering a plan to share some city services. Now think about this for your city. They want to consolidate police dispatches, technology services, animal shelters, and much more. In the long run, maybe even have a tri-city bus line serving all three communities. Of course, you may not be in favor of sharing police dispatchers with your neighboring cities because you're paying for your city to have their own dispatch. But if it saves the city money and you start combining with other cities, is that a good idea, Ruth?
Well, it's about efficiency for me more than it's about money. Obviously, if we can share our services, and I'm all about streamlining and cutting out fat and cutting out waste, but I think it should be pointed out that city council members make upwards of $180,000 a year, and I think that maybe they should be cut first, and that even in all these cities, fully a third of their city employees and city council people make in the high six figures. It's not an efficient use of money, and it's also, all this screaming and crying that we constantly hear, the budget crisis, all of the people who are responsible for all the shortfalls make upwards of or around $200,000 a year.
All right, but let's say that is what it is, and we know that's what it is. But the reality is, do we combine, David, the resources from other cities and combine them into one? What do you think?
I think that's actually a really smart idea. I hear what Ruth's saying, and I agree. Maybe we ought to have city councilors represent more than one district. We can get rid of half of them. But I actually think this is a step in the right direction because you know what? This is, like Ruth said, about being efficient. And if you can demonstrate to me that the response time to my police call or my 911 call is going to be the same, I don't really care who takes my call. I don't care if they're, I don't care if they're in Arizona. I just want to know that my public safety isn't going to be sacrificed. And that's what this is all about. So, some of these back office, functions, every other business is doing it. Television's doing it.
We're doing it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's the wave of the future.
It's all about streamlining and making the most of limited resources. I agree.
Let me jump in quickly, and we have 25 seconds. We're going to stay on time. So let's say you took Pasadena, Glendale, and Burbank, and they combined police forces. They combine the police forces now. Would that work? David, you got 5 seconds, yes or no?
Yes, as long as it doesn't affect public safety and my response times are fine, I'm great.
Ruth, what do you think?
I agree, as long as public safety isn't compromised. I mean, it's about efficiency, not compromise. That's the problem.
All right. Ruth and David, very spirited tonight. Well done. We'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.
Thanks, Fred.